July True.
Come in, Centurion. Take a seat.
The Sub-Commander and I have been reviewing your personnel records, Rulok. Most impressive.
Thank you, Commander.
You graduated third in your class at the Imperial War College.
And yet you were assigned to the Home Guard. You must have displeased someone powerful.
No, Sub-Commander. I requested the Home Guard.
Requested the Home Guard? Whatever for? A promising young officer like you would have had more opportunities in the regular military.
But we protect the homeworlds, Commander. And what duty is higher than that?
You lie most fluently, Centurion. Excellent. I believe we have chosen the right officer for this assignment.
May I ask the nature of the assignment?
The fleet has been ordered on a training exercise. A simulated assault on the colony planet Kelleron 6.
Near the Tholian frontier.
Very good, Centurion. Some Starfleet support vessels will be accompanying us.
It is all part of the new Unity.
The mission profile calls for a Romulan officer to be assigned to their hospital ship, the Cole, as a liaison.
You honor me, Commander. I will do my duty.
Don't be so hasty in calling it an honor, Centurion. It will be difficult for you. I'm sure you've heard that humans are not the best-smelling creatures in the galaxy.
And be careful not to touch one. It's like handling a dead squidfish.
I will manage, Commander.
That's the spirit. And of course, anything you can learn about Starfleet tactics or procedures during your assignment will be valuable to us.
Understood.
There may be open computer terminals left unguarded. There may be Starfleet personnel who can be encouraged to talk freely. Try to get close to them, Centurion, as best you can manage.
Yes, Sub-Commander.
And one more thing, Centurion. A personal matter. There's a doctor aboard the Cole. His name is Henglaar.
He is of interest to you.
Precisely. Anything you could learn about him, Centurion, anything useful, relay it to me personally. And I will be in your debt.
Of course, Commander.
Hidden Frontier Productions presents Henglaar, M.D., starring John Whiting as Dr. Henglaar, Heather Ashley as Silan, Jeannie Lynn as Dr. Vonus, Timothy Fritz as Dr. Lucas Noah, and Mark Samarius as Dr. Profter. Episode 107, Final Exam. Written by Mark Painter and David W. Hill. Directed by David W. Hill. In this episode, the role of Silan will be played by Aaron Wald.
Ship's log, stardate 62970.1. Elements of the 23rd Tactical Support Wing, along with units of the Romulan Home Guard, have been ordered to the Romulan colony planet Kelleron 6 on a training exercise. And we've rendezvoused with the merchant ship Durable again. We're seeing a lot of her lately. End log. Commander, we'll be taking aboard a Romulan Centurion during this trip. His name is Rulok.
A Romulan, sir? Why?
Leason de Vrellick. He wants to make sure we don't step on each other's toes down on the planet. McKay said, "This is an exciting opportunity to build a closer working relationship between the Home Guard and Starfleet."
You don't sound convinced.
I'm not. Not entirely. In the same breath, he told me to restrict his access to sensitive areas of the ship.
Ah. I'll see to the arrangements. Sir,
Yes?
aren't we supposed to be allies?
That's what Starfleet keeps telling us.
All I'm saying is some kind of ceremony. It doesn't have to be elaborate, but we are the first graduates of the field training program. That means something. And then I thought, maybe some kind of party.
First of all, Dr. Profto, I don't do parties.
You wouldn't have to come if...
Second, you haven't had your final exam yet. What makes you so sure you're going to graduate?
Well, that's a fine thing to say to the doctor who saved your life.
By being a breeding ground for pyrocytes? Congratulations, Doctor. You found your calling as a blood cell culture.
Henglaar! Just the person I was hoping to see. Oh. Good morning, Dr. Profto.
Captain Dane is pretending to be friendly, but actually, she has business to discuss with you.
You know, sometimes I hate Ferengi. Are you sure your people aren't telepathic?
Who needs telepathy? You saw a Ferengi and became unhappy. You're worried about business competition. What else could it be?
You really want me to answer that?
You don't have to worry, Captain Dana. My family's not in trade anymore.
Don't you have any patients?
None that need me this minute.
Well, go find a new one.
All right. I can take a hint.
You had something to discuss?
Henglaar, did you know that there are whole sectors of the Romulan Empire that have never seen a Federation merchant ship?
And this matters to me because...
A Federation ship can't get into those sectors without a Romulan permit. They're hard to get. But the trade potential would be... Ooh.
Then I have the answer.
You do?
Find a Romulan and ask for one.
You know a few Romulans.
My dear Dana, there is a reason why I'm a physician and not in the merchant service. It's because I value my dignity.
And what is undignified about the merchant service?
Kissing up to pompous idiots in the Romulan military to get a trade permit, like you were about to ask me to do.
I just thought that if...
Henglaar, do you have a minute? This is Centurion Rulak. He's the new liaison officer. I thought you might show him around.
All right. This is my office. That's my chair. And that's my desk. This concludes the tour. We hope you enjoyed it. Please feel free to barge back in anytime you like. Everyone else does.
Henglaar!
Obviously. We came at a bad time.
Don't mind him, it's just one of his moods. Actually, it's one of his better moods. Come on, Rulak, let's go find Dr. Vanis.
Hold that door!
Well, what do you know? Peace and quiet. Took long enough.
Come.
You sent for me, Commander?
Yes, Ken. Have a seat, please. There's been a change to the mission profile during our training exercise.
Sir?
You know the target planet, Caloron 6?
Yes, Commander. The planet orbits a Class F star, just at the inner boundary of its habitable zone. After finding strategic mineral deposits on the planet, the Romulans started a crash terraforming program. Most of that work has been completed. Colonization has commenced, but mining operations are still several months away from beginning.
You're aware the planet is cloaked, right?
Of course, sir, although saying it's cloaked is a bit strong. The Romulans built a network of satellites around the planet, using the same technology that they use in their cloaking devices. The satellites create a shield around the planet that reflects about a quarter of the solar radiation. This in turn makes the planet habitable. Otherwise, it would be too hot and the ultraviolet radiations would be too high for Romulans or even humans to survive there.
Relax, Lieutenant. This isn't a pop quiz.
Sorry, sir.
As part of the training exercise, our wing is supposed to dispatch an engineer to secure the planetary power station and make any needed repairs. A couple of engineers from the Archimedes were supposed to take that job, but there's been some last-minute changes, and the Archimedes will not be with us. So, Captain McKay is looking for another engineer.
I'd like to go, sir.
I thought you'd say that. I haven't been on board very long, but I've already seen what a hard worker you are, and you never say no to an assignment.
It was an honor to be made chief engineer of the coal. I don't want to make the captain regret choosing me.
Is that all there is to it?
Sir?
There's more to life than work, Ken.
I'm still getting the hang of this job. Maybe when things have settled down a bit.
Don't wait too long, Lieutenant. One day you'll be wondering where your life went.
Surely you're not sending me to Kelleron 6 for that long.
Just for the day. It shouldn't be too hard, except that our new Romulan liaison officer will be accompanying you. The idea is, in a real emergency, you need help understanding the control room.
I guess the operator's manual is a real bear when it's written Romulan, huh?
Have you ever worked with Romulans before?
It'll be fine, sir.
I hope so. Keep an eye on this guy, Ken.
I can handle him. Aren't we supposed to be allies with the Romulans anyways?
That's what Starfleet keeps telling us.
Over here we have the wardrooms. In an emergency, Cole is capable of treating over 1,000 patients.
Dr. Vonis, may I ask a question?
That is why I am here.
It's not about the ship. I saw Dr. Henglaar and a female human a few minutes ago. There was a strange sort of tension between them.
That is not a question.
Are they mates?
There is no simple answer to that. They have no formal relationship.
But it seemed as if...
Your people and mine are a minority among humanoids. We mate cyclically. Most humanoids experience mating urges throughout their adult lives. It impairs rational thought.
Sounds like fun.
That is not logical.
It wasn't meant to be.
Would it kill you to be a little nicer to Captain Dana?
She could have been a little nicer to me. Am I supposed to broker deals between her and the Romulans now? I already have a job, and that's not getting any easier. Starfleet Medical's all over my ass to make sure I test the team properly for their final exam. That means Karsten's become intolerable. Again.
Did you mention any of that to her? Or the fact that Rayluck hates your guts?
It didn't seem appropriate.
She was just asking for a favor. You know, humans don't like to bicker as much as Tellarites do.
You could have fooled me.
She might get the wrong idea.
I bickered with Myra all the time. She always understood.
Hello, Henglaar. Myra was a telepath.
And officers' quarters are on Deck 5.
Where I am not permitted to go.
It will be somewhat inconvenient, but you will have access to the lounge on Deck 7, where there
Hello? Excuse me, Centurion.
Good morning, Master Russell.
Hello, Dr. Vonis. And you're the Romulan Centurion everyone's talking about.
I don't know. I am a Romulan Centurion, however.
I didn't get a chance to introduce myself before. I'm Dana Russell, master of the merchant ship Durable.
I'm Rulok, at your service.
Really? Because I was thinking, your boss, Commander Vrelek, he has the authority to issue trade permits, doesn't he?
That is one of the commander's responsibilities.
There are many trade opportunities for a ship like mine in the Star Empire, and more contacts between our peoples would benefit us all.
That seems logical. Wouldn't you agree, Dr. Bonus?
Perhaps.
I will discuss it with the commander the next time I report in.
Why, thank you, Centurion. Oh, you are much easier to deal with than some people.
All right, you all know we're headed into a training exercise. The 7th Fleet, plus several Romulan Home Guard units, have bravely attacked and driven off an imaginary Arkan occupation of Kelleron 6. As we speak, Starfleet Marine and Romulan militia units are engaging holographic Arkan soldiers in a mopping-up action.
Have you ever noticed that whenever Starfleet scripts the battle, our side always wins?
That's 2 points off your final exam score. 1 point for interrupting the teacher, the other for stating the obvious.
So this training exercise is to be our final exam?
I like pretend battles. My favorite part is that the casualties are also imaginary, which, not coincidentally, is where you four come in. After the Marines have cleared the remaining pockets of holographic resistance, you will place mobile field stations to treat the wounded.
What will the Romulan colonists be doing while we're pretending to fight a war?
I don't know. Packing picnic lunches and enjoying the show, I would imagine.
Do Romulans even go on picnics?
You can ask them yourself. You and Vaughnus will take the Nightingale and set up a field station at the colony. The colonists live in a single settlement, about 5,000 of them.
Wow. Our arrival will probably be the most excitement they've seen in years.
They won't be seeing your arrival, Lucas. You and Profto will be taking the Barton and setting up a second field station in a remote location, about 10 kilometers from the designated front lines. This will be the military hospital.
To treat the uninjured Marines? Or the holograms they shot?
Lucas, you've learned to think like Starfleet Command. I don't know whether to congratulate you or pity you.
What will you be doing during the exercise?
I will be in a mountaintop observation post, evaluating the exercise along with a Romulan officer.
Not Commander Frelek.
Thankfully, no. One of his staff officers, a Sub-Commander Nonia.
Oh, a new person for you to offend.
If no one has any helpful observations, you're dismissed. Remember, tomorrow will make or break your careers, so try to get a good night's sleep.
Is this a secure channel?
Yes, Commander.
So, how was your first day among the aliens?
I believe it went well, my Commander.
Did you learn anything interesting?
About Starfleet matters? I did not, Commander. But I did meet a human named Dana Russell, who asked me to speak to you about trade permits.
And why does this interest me?
Forgive me, Commander, perhaps it does not. The mating habits of the Federation aliens are strange to me.
Mating habits?
My commander specifically asked for information about the Tellarite Henglaar.
He? And this Dana Russell?
Possibly, Commander. But there also appears to be some tension between them.
Excellent, Centurion. I am more certain than ever I assigned the right officer to this mission.
I've spent years with this ship, building her up, building up trade routes, a reputation.
Yes, ma'am?
Does he think I'm just going to walk away from it all just because it bruises his male ego?
Ma'am?
If he wants to come along for the ride, fine. If he doesn't, we leave him behind. Right, Ian?
Yeah. Of course, Captain. We're being hailed, ma'am. It's one of the Romulan ships.
On screen.
Good evening, Master Russell.
What, Commander? You honor me.
The honor is mine. I've just spoken to my Centurion, Rulok. He mentioned something about you needing some trade permits. He spoke very highly of you.
He's a fine young man.
I agree. But, Master Russell, I find myself in the embarrassing position of having to ask a favor of you.
Go on.
One of my fleet's supply tenders is in space dock. We're on a training mission to Kelleron 6 and are short on cargo capacity. If you could see your way to carry some supplies for us, just for a day or two, a few choice trade permits would be the least I could do in return. What do you say?
Commander, I think we can help each other.
Ship's log, stardate 62972.5. The Cole, along with the 13th Fleet of the Romulan Home Guard and elements of the 23rd Tactical Support Wing, has entered standard orbit of Kelleron 6. The bulk of the 7th Fleet, including much of the 23rd, has departed the system in pursuit of the attacking force. They are expected to engage near Beta Stromgren within the next 12 hours. The Cole is on blue alert in anticipation of incoming simulated casualties, and our medical teams will be deploying to the planet's surface shortly. And Durable's here again, working for the Romulans this time. Go figure. Shh. End log.
Captain, the Nightingale and Barton have cleared the shuttle bay. All sections report a blue alert status.
Very well.
Cato to bridge.
Bridge. Go ahead, Ken.
Sir, Dr. Henglaar just beamed down to the observation post. Centurion Rulak and I are about to depart for the Solar Shield Station.
Very well. Keep me posted on your progress.
Will do, sir. Cato out.
Standard orbit around Kelleron 6 achieved, Commander.
Excellent.
Commander, I am picking up a distress signal.
Part of the training exercise?
No, Sub-Commander. It is a Tholian freighter, distance approximately 5.5 billion kilometers. They were forced to shut down their warp core due to a containment problem. Now they are adrift in the system's Oort cloud and fear collision with a cometary fragment.
Send one of our interceptors to assist. Sub-Commander, are you ready?
Ready, Commander. I will beam down to the planet and observe the exercise, along with Henglaar. Shall I hurt him for you?
Not today, Nonya. Duty first. Recreation later.
Understood, Commander.
Nightingale to Cole. We are on final approach and will land within 10 minutes.
Very good, Lieutenant. Contact us once the field station is set up.
Wilco, Cole. Nightingale out.
Our landing site is the large plaza in the center of the settlement.
Those colonists are in for a big surprise.
Hopefully. The Home Guard warned them.
Why do they call this a mobile field station anyway? Looks like a runabout with a couple of biobeds and some medical equipment.
That is precisely what it is.
Then why not call it a runabout with a couple of biobeds?
Because that is 6 syllables longer.
8, 9, 10, 11. Hey, you're right.
Wow, this is a big place.
Normally, a team of engineers is on duty at this station, but they've been sent home for the duration of the exercise. We are to assume the Archons have killed or moved the engineers and disabled the station.
Where's the power transfer chamber?
Behind this wall. All the satellites are powered from this point. This is how the planet is made habitable. The mission profile gives us 6.4 hours to make repairs. What are you doing?
Scanning for damage. That's how we'd start if we were making repairs, right?
I must ask you to stop scanning. This technology is classified.
Fine, but I don't know how I can repair a machine if I can't scan it.
I'm sorry if I gave offense, but I have my orders.
Oh, it's not your fault. In fact, they told me to keep an eye on you too.
Then, may I suggest we do nothing for the next 6.4 hours?
Works for me. You wouldn't happen to have any Romulan ale on you?
Not on me, no. I don't bring it on missions.
Too bad. It would really help pass the time. Why 6.4 hours?
That's the period our command estimates it would take a Starfleet engineer to repair this installation.
Well, what's the repair time for a Romulan engineer?
3.7 hours.
Oh, very funny.
Incoming call from the Romulan Fleet Commander, sir.
On screen.
Captain Tier?
Commander Vreelik, the exercise seems to be going as planned. Is there a problem?
There is, Captain. We received a distress call an hour ago from a Tholian freighter just outside the system. I sent an interceptor to investigate, but now we've lost contact with both of them.
We'll check it out. Be back before you know it.
Thank you, Captain.
Keep an eye on my squadron for me while we're gone. It's a POW out.
Barton to Cole, Shulev here. We are entering the planet's atmosphere. Scanning for a suitable landing zone.
Roger that, Barton. We have you on sensors.
Acknowledged.
So, Profdo, what will you do after we graduate? Assuming Henglaar will let any of us leave this nightmare.
I've been thinking about joining my family on Xantaron Prime.
Quit Starfleet? You don't need to graduate to do that. You can quit Starfleet yesterday. What's the point in putting up with all this abuse?
To become a better doctor. So when I get to Xantaron Prime, I'll have something to contribute. How about you? Still working for CMO?
Yeah. I hear that T-POW may have an opening. I'd like to go back there. But I think Henglaar has it in for me.
What about Dr. Daniels? She's serving aboard T'Pau.
I didn't hear anything about that.
I think people were trying not to talk about it in front of you.
Barton to Cole, scanners have found a suitable landing site and we are descending. Suitable's hardly the word. It's on a bluff overlooking the Southern Ocean.
What's the weather like?
Sunny and clear. Visibility unlimited. Tropical climate. Temperature about 25 degrees Celsius, with a gentle breeze coming in from the bay.
This is supposed to be a training exercise, Shulev? Not R&R.
For you, it's a training exercise. You're going to spend the day setting up a field station for casualties that don't exist. Mind you, Dr. Henglaar might have some kind of surprise up his sleeve for you two. I don't know. But for me, all I have to do today is watch you two work. Since it doesn't matter where you set up, I'd rather spend the day someplace scenic.
Oh.
How come we never think of things like that, Lucas?
You're late, Sub-Commander.
I'm pleased to meet you as well. Now that we've dispensed with the pleasantries, I believe we have work to do. Are your field stations operational yet?
Alpha Station in the colony is almost ready. Beta is just landing.
It appears you are the one who is late, Dr. Henglaar.
No, Sub-Commander, you're mistaken. The fellow you're thinking of is named Lucas Noah.
My commander, 6 Tholian civilian vessels have entered the system.
We put warning buoys at the edge of the system for a reason. Why do these merchants pay no attention?
They're reducing speed and entering orbit.
They are hailing us, Commander.
I do not trust Tholians. Scan them first.
Captain, 6 Tholian freighters have just entered orbit.
What are they doing here?
Maybe some diplomat forgot to pass a message to some other diplomat? Commander?
Captain, something's wrong.
Our scanning devices detect trace mineral residues on their hulls. Otherwise normal.
What sort of trace residues?
Tetraburnium, electroceramics, polydurnates.
The same materials our own hulls are made from.
Like the hull of our missing interceptor? Order the fleet to cloak! Evasive maneuvers!
Tholians are hard to read, but these don't feel like merchants to me. They're hard and calculating, and they're counting the seconds. 2 years serving on the Phoenix under Captain Maxwell may have made me a little paranoid, sir, but...
Captain, the Romulan ships, they've cloaked.
I like paranoids. They're survivors. Red alert.
Red alert. Shields up. All decks report to you.
Evasive pattern NAP, Delta 5. Damage report?
Shields at 80%. No damage.
The other ships weren't so lucky. Thetis has taken multiple hits. She's venting plasma. Nostromo and Phidippides are reporting casualties. Shields offline.
Isn't it just like the Romulans to cloak and run when we need them?
Why do the Federation ships just sit there and allow the Tholians to pound them?
They are too noble for cloaking devices, Ulan. They would rather die for a principle than live on to fight another day. Order the fleet to withdraw.
Commander?
We cannot defeat them by brute force. First, study the enemy, Ulan. Seek out his weaknesses. We will regroup outside the system and consider our next move. Notify the fleet.
Yes, Commander.
Captain, one of the Tholian ships is locking weapons on Durable.
Helm, max impulse. Put us between them. Hail Durable. Tell her to get the hell out of here.
Shields down to 60%. Thermal damage to port secondary hull, decks 15 through 17, sections 20 through 33. Durable is unharmed, sir.
Durable acknowledges. She's moving off.
Hail the Tholians. Advise them we're a hospital ship, and remind them that they signed the Seldonis IV conventions.
Captain, the Tholians are firing on the planet.
Well, we're all set up. Now we just need to wait for the simulated casualties or whatever else Henglaar has up his sleeve. Lounge chairs? Brilliant. I have to hand it to you, Shalev.
It pays to think ahead. Old Andorian proverb.
I don't know if this is a good idea. What if Henglaar makes a surprise inspection? And that star up there is F-class. What about the ultraviolet radiation?
Relax, Profto. Take off your shirt. Enjoy the day.
My people are very sensitive to sunlight. We don't get much on Ferenginar.
Your loss.
What color do you pink-skinned humans turn when you get a sunburn?
Pinker. How about Andorians? What are those?
It looks like an attack.
Is it part of the simulation?
Centurion.
Call me Rulok.
Okay, Rulok. Does a red light on a Romulan display panel mean the same thing it does as on a Starfleet display panel?
2 of the satellites are offline. And it seems... we have lost main power!
What's going on?
Someone has attacked our power plant!
What happened to the lights?
All power's gone. The lights, the instruments, everything is dead.
What about the solar shield?
I assume it is also non-functional.
We have to fix it.
I suspect that would be more than 2 soldiers can accomplish without assistance. And, in any case, there's no power to open the doors.
Wait, don't tell me. Romulan engineers don't believe in emergency exits.
In the event of an emergency, Romulan engineers are expected to remain at their posts.
Terrific.
Captain, the Tholians have acknowledged our signal. I have an Admiral Kelkeen for you.
On screen. This is Commander Costin of the Federation starship Cole. We are a hospital ship. Hold your fire!
I am Admiral Kelkeen of the 3rd Orthogonal Fleet. We apologize, Commander. Our ship's status was unknown to us. I have ordered my ships to cease firing on you.
Good! Now do you mind explaining why your warships are disguised as merchant vessels? And why you're firing on civilian installations on the planet?
The Tholian Assembly has declared an exclusion zone around this system. Accordingly, your vessel is ordered to withdraw. I remind you of your treaty obligations, Commander.
Captain, the other ships have already withdrawn, but Thedas is dead in the water.
Right. Acknowledged. We will withdraw, but we're towing Thedas out with us.
The Seldonis IV Convention
doesn't say we can't. A withdrawal is a withdrawal, Admiral. Do you want to explain to a neutral tribunal why you fired on a hospital ship that was complying with your order?
Very well. But leave as quickly as possible, Cole. We will not tolerate delay.
Understood. Cole out.
But we have people on that planet.
8 to be exact, versus 45 aboard Thedas. Not to mention the materiel she carries.
So we're just gonna leave them there?
Of course not. We tow Thedas to safety and come right back. A few hours at most. Helm, bring us to 5,000 meters off her dorsal bow and engage tractor beam. Then plot a course out of the system. Best possible speed.
Aye, aye, sir. ETA is 2 minutes.
Engineering, bridge. Find a way to increase power to the tractor beam. We need to do better than quarter impulse towing the Thedas out of here. Bridge out.
The Tholians aren't going to like any of this. What's the plan?
We get in their way.
Status.
We've been hit. Multiple system failures. Something's wrong with the main power.
It will have to be shut down.
I'm on it. I thought this was supposed to be a training exercise.
As did I. Lieutenant, our scanner's functional.
Negative. Communications are also down.
We need more information.
We could try opening the viewport. Tell me, that's fog.
There was no fog prior to the attack, and it is midday.
Someone dispersed some kind of gas right on top of the colony.
We must analyze this gas and determine whether it is a threat.
Good luck with that. We're down to auxiliary power and external sensors are useless.
I don't remember being briefed on this.
This is not part of the simulation. The Daleks is not responding to my signal.
And I can't raise the coal. No surprise, really. Whoever is attacking the planet would have had to destroy or drive off our ships first.
It is surely the Tholians.
Why do you say that?
They have claimed this system for years, but I did not think they would dare.
Go on. Dare what?
It is not important.
Dare try to take the system while Starfleet was here waving the Federation flag? Is that why the Home Guard picked this system for the training exercise?
I don't know what you mean.
You misjudge the Tholians. They don't respond well to threats, and they're big on preemptive strikes.
I wonder what happened to our fleet. Either destroyed or in retreat, I suppose.
More likely in retreat. Vrelek can't afford to lose any more ships, can he? Even if his uncle is a senator, that will only get him so far.
Dr. Henglaar, you show unexpected depth.
On Romulus, the amount of political clout you wield is proportional to the number of ships in your command. Vrelek lost quite a few during the Arkan invasion, and he has enemies. Enemies who make sure his ships in space dock are kept at a low priority and don't get repaired. Replacements keep getting diverted to other formations. Isn't that right, Sub-Commander?
I had no idea you were a student of Romulan politics.
I'm not. I'm following the wisdom of Tepelek. Know your enemy. That was her first law of warfare, wasn't it? She was the founder of your Imperial War College, if memory serves. Vrelek can't afford to lose more ships. He would have cloaked and run at the first sign of trouble. Cole should be all right, assuming the Tholians remember their treaty obligations. I don't know what's going to happen to the rest of our ships.
Cato de Cole. Cato de Cole. This is Lieutenant Cato of the Starship Cole to any Starfleet personnel in range. If you can hear this, please respond.
With the solar shield gone, this building is in full sunlight.
Rulak, we need to get out of here. The temperature is easily 30 degrees Celsius and rising.
Your scent has gotten much worse.
That's right. Romulans have sensitive noses. Is it that bad?
I've been training myself to ignore it, but yours is changing significantly. Are you becoming ill?
Oh, no, it's the heat.
Your species evolved in a cooler climate than mine.
Stress makes it worse. And fear. If Dr. Vonis was here, she'd probably say I'm emitting a wide range of pheromones right now.
Is there something I can do?
No, not really. It's really too bad you didn't bring along some Romulan ale.
I had 6 bottles in my quarters aboard Cole. A graduation gift from my parents.
6 bottles? Any good?
Handcrafted. Traditional method. Much better than the export version we sell to the Federation. I was saving it for a special occasion. But most likely Cole is destroyed, and nothing remains of the ale but a fine mist of ice particles, drifting through space. There is a life lesson in that.
Yeah, eat dessert first. Hey, listen, don't worry. I bet you your ale is intact and Captain McKay and the entire 23rd are on the way right now.
This must be that human optimism I hear so much about. Some say your species has more than its share of luck.
Who knows? Maybe my human luck can get us out of this.
If we do survive this day, tonight I will drink that ale. I make you an offer, Lieutenant. Employ your human luck to save both of us, and the ale, and I will split it with you.
Now, how can I say no to an offer like that?
So what will you do?
I'm thinking.
Henglaar to Barton. Is anyone there? Henglaar to Barton.
Barton here. Henglaar, is that you?
Yes, and based on your inability to discern the obvious, I assume I'm talking to Profto. What's your status?
We're all right, except for 2 cases of sunburn. But we haven't been able to contact anyone except you. Someone attacked the colony.
Did you say sunburn?
The solar shield has been disabled. It's getting hot outside, and the ultraviolet radiation is increasing.
Yes, but why would anybody take off? Oh, never mind. I don't want to know.
Lieutenant Shalev here. Dr. Henglaar. We're reading Tholian energy signatures in orbit. No sign of Starfleet or Romulan vessels.
Sub-Commander Noni is of the opinion that the Tholians are responsible for this.
An active sensor sweep would tell us for certain. But if we try it, we may draw fire. For the moment, they don't seem to know we're here.
Good. Keep it that way.
Henglaar, we can't raise Nightingale. And some kind of ionization is interfering with the transporter. We can't get a lock on anyone in the colony.
We could beam you and the sub-commander to our location.
Negative. If you can't get me closer to the colony, then leave me here.
What should we do?
Stand by until I think of something.
Henglaar, do you know anything about T-Pow?
She was supposed to be off investigating a distress call.
A distress call? From where?
That's all I know, Lucas. Henglaar out.
A distress call. Just before the attack?
It could have been a trap!
T-Pow was the only combat ship in our squadron.
Casey was right. It is hard to have a relationship with a Starfleet officer.
She'll be all right, Lucas.
It sounded as if your people will be no help at all.
Agreed. I'd order them to launch Barton and bring it to the colony if that would help, but it would be too dangerous. The good news is the Tholians don't seem to know they're out there. All of their attention seems focused on the colony.
There may be a tactical advantage in that.
If there is, it escapes me. All the action's at the colony or the solar shield station. How far away are we?
The colony is about 10 kilometers to the east. The station is 5 kilometers further on.
The colony it is, then.
And how will we get there? We have no transporter.
We have feet.
The terrain will not be easy. It could take hours.
Then we'd best get started.
Nightingale to Cole. Come in, please. Nightingale to Barton. Nightingale to Dr. Henglaar. Ugh, nothing. I don't get it.
Maybe something's wrong with the communication system.
The diagnostics say no. All circuits normal, but no response.
It may be that our colleagues were also attacked and are in worse condition than we are.
Maybe the gas has some property that...
Now what's broken?
I believe the source is exterior to Nightingale and is artificial in origin.
Someone's knocking at the door, in other words.
If we open that hatch, we will be exposed to that gas.
Whatever it is obviously not fatal. Not instantly. But there may be patients who require treatment. We are a medical facility.
I'm the ranking command officer present, and in my opinion, the risk outweighs the... You had no authority to...
We don't have time for the chain of command.
Permission to come aboard?
Lieutenant Salon, please. We have a guest. This is Nightingale, a Federation mobile aid station. I am Dr. Vonis.
Sub-Lieutenant Quintius of the Kelleron 6 Militia.
You can put down the disruptor rifle, Sub-Lieutenant. We're on the same side.
Forgive me. Our lieutenant was killed in the Tholian bombardment, and I'm the only officer left in my unit. We have many casualties.
How many?
Over 100 in my unit alone, and there are many others.
We have 1 doctor, 1 nurse, 3 biobeds, and a few hours of available power.
What is the nature of the casualties? Injuries from Tholian disruptor fire? Or the gas?
Disruptor fire, yes. The gas does nothing. But without the solar shield, our people are losing their strength. Some pass out within minutes of exposure to the sunlight.
Curious. The sunlight should not be that strong.
Well, with no power for cooling systems, our houses are just becoming intolerably hot.
Everyone either bakes or passes out. Not good.
We need your help.
Bring them here.
Where are we going to put them?
We need to set up a triage station.
We need to secure a tarp and rig it up in the square. That will be our triage station. Lieutenant Miranda and I can handle that. We'll send patients in here 3 at a time for Dr. Vonis to treat.
Agreed.
Sub-Lieutenant, we need help. As many of your militia members who can still walk. Send some of them here to help us to set up. Use the others to bring the patients.
I will see to it.
How long can we keep that up? Before we run out of power, or all of us pass out from the heat, or the sun, or whatever else is out there?
I do not know. We can hope that assistance will arrive before we find out.
Hope? That doesn't sound very logical.
Logically, hope is all we have left.
This episode also featured the voice talents of Will Dees as Centurion Rulock, Rick Pike as Commander Stu Karsten, Casey Jones as Lieutenant Commander Andres Mio, Scott Fack as Lieutenant Ken Cato, Tammy Klein as Sub-Commander Nonia, Elise Jackson as Lieutenant Isabel Miranda, Brittany Purr as Lieutenant Shelev, Jeremy Lin as Sub-Lieutenant Quintius, Yunbin Lee as Romulan Tactical Officer, Michael Harding as Chief Petty Officer Paul Lindquist, Stephen Rimpici as Romulan Communications Officer and Captain Rhaegar Tier, David W. Hill as Admiral Kelkane and Crewman Ian David, Alex Matthews as Lieutenant Graylin BX, Chris Ryan as Ensign Davies, Fiona Linke as T'Pau Communications Officer, Michael Liebman as Romulan Helm Officer, with Michael McConaughey as Commander Vrelek, and Melody M. Spivak as Captain Dana Russell.
Theme and original score by Mary Koyumjin. Additional music by Jerry Goldsmith, James Horner, and David Newman.
Editor and audio engineer David W. Hill. Casting director and associate producer Kestra Oliver. Medical advisors Farrell Pearson, MD, and Sean Paul Teeling. Technical consultant Jonathan Connor. Producers Alex Matthews and Mark Painter. Executive producers Rob Caves and David W. Hill. This is Andrew Foster.
And David W. Hill.
Henglaar MD is a Hidden Frontier production.